Right. So we did live already. It gets me
Oh,
clear?
okay.
Correct. So, and Fambolem, we watch right now, one for welcome Una, to this we colonial program. But unfortunately, the normal link where we support for use, it gets some problem. So whilst we wait for pick them up, let's just take 1 minute for get Una properly now the show whilst we listen to this one. All right, you will just done we please now for share link for we share link for we because the link will already be established. As I see, a lot of people have actually did it. We get some issue with the internet. Maybe waiting we can do now for fear we can end that one day and join this one as well because we guess don't already do it inside the program. But we get bad internet this morning. That's why the phone actually do so now. And the unusual way, we don't ever do this one, this kind of just type of their way to for one. And we get Phil Django with inside the program this morning for come help really discuss the different issues that we already we don't begin see now the title of the program. So please, let me see what you can do. Please join me. Join me. Now, please just join on the next line. But for you, for Siam, please. All right. So let me just do this firstly. Okay, see, let me go. Let me start the program and then go to join me later on as we they go. You will just join me, please. Take this link for we put them again at a live feed. Usai just come up, so Usai other people have done already. I see 130 people still in around a Friday. So please put the link for we day. I'm not able for do that because the internet really bad off. So please help me with the link in that other channel link. See, let we go. One for welcoming first of all. This one for the usual way for doing things this morning. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Senge. Good morning to all of your viewers, and good morning to the potential one we can join with just now.
All right, thank you. And Phil, first of all, let we start with, the hunger before we go into the main things them. I know a lot of people miss them. Let's start with hunger. What do you think about the president's speech now, hunger, United Nations General Assembly?
Well, his speech was well received because one pathway will be more interested now on Sierra Leone instance towards the Gaza business. And then we'll find out, say, the president was firm, he condemned the Israeli actions in Gaza. So that I would say, indeed, while Sierra Leone, so far so good, always they align with the West, that is with the US, with the EU. But this time around, Salon seemed to say, well, we are basically having a clear conscience on this one. Gaza violence should stop. The Israelis should have humanitarian feelings and stop the assaults on the Gazans. That's how it was very well said. And he also talked about the need for we get a seat in the UN. Remember, see, President Biona Ena, the chairman for the CTN, that is the committee we responsible for push the case for let's get a seat in the UN Security Council. So he was also very effective on that. That said, he is still the globalist man himself. In other words, the one we believe in global institutions. But this time now, we can get a US president. We're not interested in global politics. He's more interested in pushing the US, bullying anybody else if need be for push the interests of the US. So our president is still a globalist. He believes in global institutions, and he wants to see it reinforced. Perhaps not because Salona a donor dependent country, and if you're a globalist, it means you want to be part of the system where free money will come to poor countries.
All right. So you see, like for say, because not in at the fourth where we don't start, but you actually see, like for say, it go succeed in this one, especially in the push for the permanent seats for Africa.
Yes, if you've been go through some of the African speeches, I mean the African leaders, they seem to don't catch the breeze. They all now they talk about the need for Africa to get a seat at the UN Security Council. Remember, say the UN now been a product after the Second World War, and that purpose was for ensure say that there is no more major war will involve all the powers of the world and their vassals in a major conflict. So we could say it don't stop Danny for the last 70 years. However, this being things don't begin change. You know, the same thing we may you be the freedom begin be back way. Nations are fighting nations, you know, some are fighting for their survival, some are fighting for land. So with Sierra Leone now and Africa, we find out say we do not have a voice when it comes to taking a stance in the most important institution. In other words, even though we say democracy, but the UN system not get democracy. The all major decisions are taken at the level of the UN Security Council, where now 5 permanent members and did it. And then when I see the Second World War, then when we win the Second World War, now them form that council, namely the US, namely the UK, namely France, namely China, and namely Russia. But the world don't change. Now you have South Africa, you have Nigeria, you have Algeria, you have other powers, and we don't rise. But then we still in the old format of 1945. So it is about time Africa, the presidency been the sea, we get a seat there with a veto. We will say, well, this one Africa no agree. But however, it's much more like a talking shop unless the US and the UK and France then take that on board, and it will be just that is the major fear.
Right. So a lot of things actually don't they happen inside the country. And we'll come down now to the issue of the economy. And maybe let me just watch quickly the latest, report we come out from the United States of America. We get to do with the fiscal, report where they can normally do every year to actually look at waiting on how country then they perform in terms of how then they spend, and do other things then. So this one where come out from the New Age newspaper, quoting the report and say, amidst meeting mining revenue to the tune of 33 million United States dollar. United States Department says there is no significant progress in fiscal, transparency in Sierra Leone. Fiscal transparency, not to begin talk about that, when you join inside the program. But with this kind of reports, to the tune of 33 million, what do you think?
Well, you began with the 2025 fiscal transparency report by the US State Department. It been hang on the issue of having a transparent auditing process, an independent auditing process. Now, remember, say there's a be the follow on the Lara in case they been say there was a major difference between Lara in term and now. and that they want for the government to become much more transparent when it comes to the issue of auditing, because it is the means for you able to checkmate wastage in the system. Now, one thing what the report says that now we look at it, say that it did not that government did not make basic information on natural resource extraction awards available. You see the point that there is a systematic policy in Sierra Leone not for make basic information. I'm quoting here on natural resource uh, 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 um, on natural resource contracts. Now, right now, the government did a budget hearing with all other MDs, yeah, and with the struggle for his revenue. And you notice, see, me don't can see the mining sector in Sierra Leone is a massive revenue generating arm, but we are not getting much. In 2023, we made only $35 or so million in revenue from the mining sector. Last year, we made just about $30 million. But last year, even according to the Minister of Finance, Mr. Fatamadi Bangura, it said we export up to $1.5 billion worth of minerals, including the iron ore. And yet, now you need to come on, not to me. And yet, we only get about $30 million in revenue. He said that's for change. He said that's not for work. And even the vice president, Mr. Julia Jallo, talker, he said, Salon get for drive for fame, which means for raise revenue. Instead of talking at this budget hearing within the whole right now. But what made the wonder is none of them, that is the Minister of Finance, Mr. Julia Jallo, not tell we say this is what they expect. This is the policy of government in your budget hearing. We now have a policy for say we are going to review the mining leases. We're going to review the taxation policies of the mines, because even the VP Julie, it tell me and you say that there are too many tax concessions. So apart from the fact that we're not getting much from the revenue side of the mines, yet we get people within the system where then they sit down and they give concessions to then companies in Africa with things which they pay for from the key. So next to nothing. But what is government's policy? Because as a government, it is a policy for ensuring they streamline those lab systems. None of it is there. However, we are still having a government that is depending on raising revenue from local businesses. I mean, the services companies, leaving aside a major revenue generating arm, which is, of course, the mines. And how can we export $1.5 billion worth of minerals? And yet, we as a country only get $30 million. So we need there's the urgent need, therefore, for ensuring we work on arresting the issues of wastage and revenue loss. But look at the report here again. It says that there is deliberate secrecy on the extraction of these minerals. The way how they award contracts to these companies is suspect, as they say. And that the government made budget documents and information on debt obligations, including major state-owned enterprises, widely and easily accessible. However, they were fair. See, governments can make open to the public the debt obligations, including within government owned to state-owned enterprises. But then the budget then say it lack proper review. The government specified in law or regulation, but did not appear to follow in practice the criteria and procedures for awarding natural resource extraction licenses. Let's go again. It said that is the U.S. State Department 2025 Fiscal Transparency Report. We make this point here. It said the government specified in law or regulation, but did not appear to follow in practice the criteria and procedures for awarding natural resource extraction license and contracts. So, 1 + 1 is always 2. We have the laws there. But the practice of awarding contracts for mining is basically not following the laws. So there lies the issue that it could be a deliberate policy of some people for protect external miners from paying their due fare of the revenue, whilst we sit down with the harass local businesses. And right now they are on this budget. So let us hope and challenge them that we need to find and see government policy towards revamping and reviewing the mining policies for ensure say 80% of our revenues should come from the mines.
You know, you just the talking, it's not like magic. You dey talk about the billions, where we dey export and the millions where we dey get. For example, you dey talk about 31, 30, 30, 35 million where now we dey get as revenue from all of the billions where they export. But unfortunately, what we see from this report where you dey talk about so, except now the fact say we even by the mining revenue, we dey talk about missing millions to the tune of 33 million. So how this magic dey happen? How this thing dey happen? If we dey talk about wetin we dey get na 33 million, and then we dey lost this amount of money back, how kind math we dey work in that thing?
Well, this is within the worry most of we, the economic analysts, we they watch the system because we may not even the US for we, not even the for foresee that we get a very lax policy system where the outside of the laws, the mining laws, where sort of give power to certain individuals in the system for give concessions to these very mining companies for make them they pay all the taxes because mind you now only 3% tax we get from them. I mean the total value we then see of the exports and they send to we as revenue. But you want to run an economy where you all admit see if you watch the budget hearings, they all see that the world system now don't begin for change. That in fact, the usual donors now are now thinking inwardly that there is less grants available, there is less of these angels and free money available, and therefore we will come back to WISIF and sit down and arrange how we go mobilize internal revenue. But even that said, we have this consistent policy of letting off the hook this very sector which supposed for giving maximum revenue. The very sector is mining. We have the diamonds, we have the bauxites, we have the gold, we have even the major one like the iron ore, when price now is very, very good. We still get a problem for get even a fraction of the total revenue from governments from that side. So it is like we are not yet prepared for the changing world order. That when there will be a major crisis in the international system, it will slap me bad, nasty, nasty one. Because I always want to say, Donald Trump, now a president of the US, and the US policy has wide vibration across the world. And it's about time we sit down and review and revamp the mining sector. But all we had from the vice president, for the minister of finance, not that they acknowledge, say something has to be done, but nobody has put up a policy for do something about ensuring we go back to the mining rules and effectively and conscientiously implement the mining laws we don't do already.
Okay, continue for the way to inside the program. So let's just talk to you with the watch right now. We're very much sorry. Apart from the fact that me and Bible we don't try this system one time. This is not the first time we actually bring against directly on YouTube without we not pass any side. So because of one or two other reason, then the internet the problem this morning. I don't know how it happened. We don't set on all things, and then once we want to start, everything just collapse. So we want to apologize and please you will get the link now. Please share them to somebody else. Make it actually be part of the show this particular morning. And they experience a lot of problem right now. So waiting again we get for do. We've been telling her this the last time. as long as we dey continue for do this, we get forget, people them way they actually try as best as possible for make sure say they recruiting. We got another alternative when I be a standby. Most of una be don't subscribe to the one day. This even time we go actually post a link once we dey do program for in case anything. Then una know say we go dey another other side to do we programs them as normal. Okay, so we go actually share the link with una today. This evening time and see how prepared una will get for B or in case of any other thing will get for happen. Case they like this one because it's not phone actually they use to right now. We know if we go do the system for actually do we normal program. Okay, so we'll continue with the rest of the show. I'm seeing this report. What did it mean? Or what if you feel say it could mean, to other monetary, agencies them where actually they give it support like every other thing, like the World Bank, the EU, in as much as they self get their own report, but nothing this way they can compare notes and see say Salon now they do well or Salon we then can't think they are not good for the country economy or the kind way how we step they give them money or how they spend money.
Now that's the apple now. The international system now. Then almost now look at the EU. The EU now one of the major people in with the support with budget supports. Now the EU then support don't begin drop because they themselves depend on the US. The US now the major trading partner. But the US now say we don't care about these so-called trading partners. We only need for make profits. So they slap 15% on everything we then export to the US. And it even increase them to 30% we camper still. So first time the EU they can simply use the advantage, say they are friends with the US for exports, a lot of things into the US and make a lot of money. Whilst the one way they export to the EU from the US, then they pay higher taxes than they not be mind. Trump don't stop that one day. The EU is now paying a higher tariffs than it used to pay. In fact, some cases in the week it pays zero tariff for certain goods, like chips, electronic chips. It was nearly zero tariffs. Now it's 15%. So that is revenue loss for them. Now, how do they recoup these losses? It means reducing their support to people like Sierra Leone. By the grants they can give, the free support to the NGOs, all of them begin for reduce because they too are now looking away for raise revenue. For Sierra Leone now, we only see these commitments that we have to do something to ensure we get maximum revenue from mines. But when it comes to actual policy, yang not a single word. So, like I was saying, when oil price begin to go up and the impact begin to come to Sierra Leone in terms of increasing fuel prices, it will be devastating on a poor economy like a Wiyun, where still depend on this very difficult EU countries with the suffer right now, and the US will not stop for support, give free money to we. They don't stop totally. So this is what we should be challenging the Minister of Finance. What exactly are you doing to review and revamp the mining? Because like how missy, mining is supposed to give us 80% of our revenues as a country, whilst the others should not be the others. What are we doing? Why are they not even contributing a fraction to our GDP? In fact, not only agriculture, we still there at in infancy. Now, in surpass mining. And yet, when you hear it, then say we don't export 1.5 billion worth of mines, some people in the system, even they make noise saying achievement, not knowing that it is the money belonging to the mining companies, not Sierra Leone. That what you will get now only royalties. We're not 30 million I will make last year. Not to me say you really, the Minister of Finance they tell we it was fair enough. So we have to do something about this one. And guess what's in they happen? For raise revenue now for tax, the lawful and legal companies with the struggle. Now then they did the tax heavily, and then they harass. Then Govt They, 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 they are free sale, the orange. Then one anyway, they suppose by now, forget government incentives because they are major employers and then they harass us with taxes. Then you will come with SME, you will try for establishing small scale business. All time you are under problem and under pressure from the government for pay taxes. But we are leaving aside, not addressing the key issue about revamping and reviewing these mining concessions. Because even the US, don't tell we see, we are very opaque, not clear, very dark way for award contracts. So it means we're not awarding contracts based on the laws. It's based on somebody in whims and caprices. And that's really only going to be a problem for we in future.
And this all gets to do with, for example, this BNTM, the World Bank actually tell me about $60 million whole project where they award to somebody else, where they don't go through the normal process. All of that they are the take effect. But now we economy, yeah, following on with economy, we budget where we always announce, every year, a highly dependent on donor. So with that kind of thing there, how we go manage? Because even now, as we talk to corporate business, not difficult something for we country. That is why they say we for put more effort for actually raise more revenue from we local source them. When are more problem, more poverty for the people as well. So what did it mean for we future budgets then?
Well, it mean one thing for the one with the fishing. Now, just last week, they've been telling me, you say, that the government will step up them measures and for protect the inclusive economic zone. That is decided where they reserve for them small scale fishermen. Them. They say right now rampant fishing on them big companies. Say we not even register in a saloon, Ministry of Marine Resources. Then they say then they strain because the internal exclusive economic zone is now being ravaged by companies and we're not even pay tax to governments because we lack enough surveillance powers, we lack enough transparency. So fishermen they don't be complain. So now one affects and the way they mean that all money can now we not get helicopters, we not get ships. I mean for the military, we not get professional cadre of divers. All and is lacking. So then the user now will say, well now apart from the exclusive economic zone, we're not Sierra Leone in 200-mile radius of the sea where it gets. Inside that part, where you can inside small beach, now they get the internal exclusive zone. Even there, these big trawlers they come in and they are taking the fish away. And with the sale at the market, where fish price they go up. So can government arrest that? That is another very powerful avenue for revenue. Let's come back to the other issue of taxing. Are we effectively taxing these trawlers? Are we even having the means from monitor them? See another revenue loss. You see the other revenue loss when these mining companies and they pull them diamond, then gold, and then raw material like the iron ore. Do we examine them? What she said, the iron ore, don't you not get other things in there? Or we just simply allow them for pull them from the loading site, transfer them by the train direct to the port and can go. Just this week now we read say government one come out with a policy for ensure see we get fair price for the iron ore. Just this week now that's they talk about a fair price. Just after almost 25 years since the end of the war, we talk about waiting that we want to begin now for get fair pricing for which the guys did exports. So that is also another revenue loss. Now look at the other one. We continuously expand on the public sector. It creates jobs them for we friends them. So if you watch the budget, over 60% of it is being spent on salaries and other amenities. And the one for development itself, I will tell you, say, just in July, there was a supplementary budget where government be asked for $600 million. But even that, then I will say, we they reduce we're spending on capital investments, which is infrastructure, schools, roads, hospitals. Then they reduce them. Why? They ask for $600 million more. So where is this money going? It's going to pay salaries, which is also another revenue loss. Now, any country we want to develop, for always invest on in people them, for always make sure see, and when they really graduate, they get job as in they come out. But I can tell you, say I do a survey in June. I go graduation in Fabric College December last year.
Mhm.
I engaged 10 young people and tell them say I did track una. I'll count una every 3 months for check una and see how far una don't go on this job business. I went back to them in June of the 10. Hmm? Only two get themselves in a job. The eight not get a job at all. And of that 2 day we get job, one say in job salary no date, and not sure if they pay. So it thinks for left. So if you look at this in a wider context, unemployment is a major, major problem in this country. There are many of these people in we now, they come on now college, now tertiary institutions them, and other side them, then they look for job, but there's no job. But
Mhm.
when you empower these people for be able to create wealth, it gets enough revenue for government for gets for spend. But when more and more people are basically becoming poorer, it affects government in drive for raise revenue because government in your policy now for raise revenue through and on the citizens, not for address the mining sector. So if they are getting poorer, it will mean that there will be less and less revenue. Why should go for being killing people now,
So
for pay
you
taxes?
feel the government not actually know say this not the problem right now. Less employment, more burden on the government. Less employment, less revenue for government.
Well, there is what we call powerful interests, not only in Sierra Leone.
Mhm.
Because if VP Jule Chalo tell you last week, say there are too many mining concessions. He tell you say we not get enough money for mining.
Mhm.
Indeed, he know the problem. He know exactly what is the problem. If Vatamari Bangura, self during the budget hearing where they go now, tell you say that they only get small money, about $30 million from mining last year. It tell you say he know exactly who said the money for come out. Why are they not taking the radical actions? Well, some would say they are powerful interests. Where you will sit down no more months done, they can meet you because now you connect with them.
Mhm.
Now you get the influence for them. They come and give you small thing. That small thing, big money for the ordinary man. Until you should no more. They can meet you. Wash you and we say, $100,000. Surely you lost your common senses. So there are interests and they don't care. Whether or VP talk, they don't want to know. They know that they are there to serve the interest of these big companies. And whatever government officials they say, mean nothing to continue the whole thing. But the problem now is this. Watch when they go for read the budgets. 2 years ago, the budget they begin raise tax them per rest. You remember, per gas, per fuel. Let's say anyway, directly the impact on the ordinary man. Now that's they been do. Last time they say, well, no, we need to raise more taxes per the people them who go
Mhm.
manage to. But this year, even the IMF, per $283 million. If
Mhm.
Fatamadi said we see we've been getting from the IMF, I mean, they've been promissory last year, October. When they come this year, for come look how much the economy they do, then withhold for pool panel money. They say because governments not keep to the word. So the issue would be, whilst we are trying to forgive these mining companies with excuse them for pay their due taxes, now the ordinary man will suffer for his revenues here. And that's not the problem we afraid because it will be a much more loss to the country. Where you tax a poor man, then you may say you get less revenue. And then
Mhm.
you protect the one and we for pay the fair share of taxes.
So this go with the word: the rich man gets richer, the poor man gets poorer.
Yes, it make the so-called investors richer and the poor countries poorer. And we are very, very poor. We are very, very poor because
Because I
water
listen to the
scarcity.
Minister of Finance, he really no say salon not poor. He says salon not a poor country. That now within the tell me.
Now, Salono Po, no. Now we fiscal policy na in short sighted because every country they mobilize and depend on in natural resources. Like all this country, Qatar, they don't have diamonds, they only have oil. But the people are paying less taxes. That's 90% of the taxes are coming from government inability for manage the oil sector. Saudi Arabia, the people are not paying taxes largely. It is the mining, sorry, the oil revenue now in they use for even provide social services to the people. What's about we now? We have all of them. We have the iron ore, we have bauxites, but we are only getting a fraction of revenue. So
I
if
think
we
come inside. I think for come inside. We always can hear something. Say we mineral step. Now other people they determine waiting the price for me. And then the category they talk about so they able for markets and business outside get enough for able for manage resource system, handle the people and the social welfare them, and then they not catch the head too much. Not to say they're not into also because that's not part of any business. Yeah, but they yet still they able for manage the country, building people, the human capital and everything. But we get multiple of minerals, but none of them no ever benefit we. Waiting happen. You just talk about. I just make reference to the minister just to tell you say we not poor. Yes, we not poor, but the policy they poor. They deserve that kind of position and they for manage them at all if they're not able for know who sign for pass or waiting for.
you ask a very powerful question, and it worry we too much. It worry we because when it comes to raising taxes, it is the same fuel, the same license for your motor car, for your business, and then they raise taxes. The same rest that they raise taxes. So what is actually the problem? What is actually the make we left for raise revenue from the same we get the money, then they focus on the certain way. Now, ordinary man, the benefits there, and then day they go keep these taxes, this fuel taxes, this import of basics them. Now they when these taxes, what do you make? The reason is that there are powerful interests in government. We may they see. We don't know them, but then they are there. And then they make you they see, then they win them personal awards them. You will see this minister go out, they say don't win back the award for best this and that. You will see that they go out. So it is that they after with the benefit these individuals. Now, Inky make then they make lack of attention. If you watch this big being team, even KKY, we been just come inside the energy. You don't win 2 international awards them. Let's say it's this. If you want to be winning in these awards, you have to make your country a free destination for exploitation. Because when you stand up to these foreign forces, you will not be winning these international awards. You will not be called to these international conferences. You will not be given these stupid grants awards they win and they say you win only on paper. So, because of this, having these powerful interests, and then they be the awards, and then they, and it's just say, those who are compliant with their interests are to be liked by the international system. And then they call now the EU for group and conference. And they call now London, now Paris, now they call now Hamburg, now they call now the UN, and they don't make noise because they are basically prepared for sell their country. But the moment you have a leader like the one in Burkina Faso, We say we are going to use our gold for Burkina Bees. He will not be going to the UN. He will not be winning these awards from the EU, from the IMF, from the US. He will, in fact, be called a dictator. And
Mhm.
ours here don't want to fall that victim because they know their interest is not in Sierra Leone.
Mhm.
Their interest is outside of Sierra Leone. And over the past 20 years, most of the guys that really get the top jobs in governments, from vice presidents, calm down. They are mostly diasporans and we know get nearly nothing. But they owe it as an obligation for
Mhm.
please their masters there. So that for me is a simple explanation of why.
So if I get right in summary, the difference between Qatar, the difference between Dubai and other side them, where actually they get one mineral, yeah, oil or other things, because they're able to make the people a benefit from that, compared to we na patriotism.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I see Dubai, for example, everybody they want to go Dubai. A desert place. Everybody they want to go Dubai. Now world class. But Salon, we don't get minerals. We don't begin benefit from minerals before Dubai. Yet still, we still go Dubai, go bake them for doing something. We still go Dubai, go bake them, where we get riches more than them. How is that possible that?
Now, let's say one thing here. It is about leadership. Leadership. You know, you talk about we're not patriotic. You a leadership makes you patriotic. When you get the kind of leadership where is bent on seeing results in every sector. As they say, thief they under it don't put statements, it don't ask in secretary for rights. You know, Solomon defeated the office of the president, the powerful office in this country. If that office says enough is enough today, enough is enough today, I can assure you, you don't have to make patriotism an option of yes or no. You they go into being patriotic by force because the leadership no take nonsense. Whether not within the party or out of the party, when they say this is this and then put enforcement mechanism, I can assure you, see, it work because hello man, no man know is very law abiding. Well, once you get these laws and when they come in, and then by the time we then begin for enforce them, later on they begin for slack, we're going back to square one. So it's more about having a decisive leader. We not care about which man they say. We only care say a need for developing the country in tandem with Guinea, Liberia, because media always suggest say we cannot alone get the best from our minerals as a nation. We therefore group up with Liberia, Guinea, Ivory Coast, we are awarded at the MRU. For say, look at one systematic pricing policy there for the shared things that we get. It could be the iron ore, it could be rubber, it could be diamond. Look, they shared that leadership there for the try for push, a push for a regional mechanism for price we rare earth minerals. So if you come on here now, you go to Ivory Coast, and the same thing then they tell you. If you come on here, you go to Guinea, and the same thing. But all means see there has to be leadership. Especially now when we are the chairman of ECOWAS. And that kind of policy that we for the push, say we need to have a regional hub where we set up pricing policy for our rare minerals where nobody from the outside, nobody can change. But it's lacking. So it's a leadership issue. But however, when you say we go to somebody to Marasenge, let's see one thing which you go meet up. You would have so many people and we want something from you. You would have so many. Watch this UN conference. When you see the front of the UN president, so many Solomon and the day where they wait for the presidents. All kind of people in come out and say they're seeing about North America branch. All of those faces, boss, we look at them, you know, you'll be tempted for say, let us do something for them. Because me na countryman, let not can make too much strict. So that is another crux of the matter that you have a base to please, that you have to do something for them. That if you want to even be in power, you have to please them. So it becomes a policy of pleasing certain people in your base over ensuring national economic. It's a hard thing. It's a very hard thing for sort of say, I don't care about you people. I care about the country. I want to do the right thing. It's a very, very difficult thing. So now exactly this patrimonial system that the party, but the party the free in base lane based no vex. Lane based the not begin for turn against them. So where they go through now, it don't watch surface. It must not take some names and down. Mr. So and so, if he don't tell you about his business here, that time first side for put on. So it is a matter of national interest over partisan interest. Now, and the struggle and for any leader, that's alone.
So you think, I'm not put this, maybe wrong. You think the only possible way for change this country, we will able to move on with this and change we like Dubai, change we like other side. Now only would have not get interest for second time.
Yeah. You see, so I'm expert. What about the up? First time, okay, you now we win by first rounds. You go to second rounds with Anis by Kuruma. You manage not to Nabuda. Nabi gets says the first election. Nabi win them. It been started with the NUP them. I know that. Now this guy carry for smarts. Yes, he not been win first rounds. All right. Second time, we end the war. We declare in January 2021 or 2001. They say don't end the war. That target over 60% votes. Now I say, well, now the party in last things now, it can be radical. It can be somebody where not care about what's in business. It do the right thing. Pass with that party announced in cabinet. That party call this other man, this old man with the Banya, some Banya for be foreign affairs ministers. When we are expecting some radical names for coming in them, so it basically employ 10 people and we're not too bright or radical or smart for push me further. It's simply called the old base. Why? Why is that happening? It can't even honest by. Second time, wait for be the most radical. Now with the yari uchimba after you, now you. Boy, that's the time you should be doing the right things because you know you want to have a legacy. After you now with the affects, I say Buddhist spice now you for simply get things done, you talk about after you now you. And now self winner now. I'm hoping that now the park will be radical. It will be extremely radical.
2 years done. 2 years done. No stake will be radical again. The election
well, you know where you see and they talking at the UN and you see the clapping with the big clap for him. I will say, this man has been. Can he please come back to us here and start off with this mining? This mining, mismining. Can he start off from there? Because many people are saying that since that first lady been intervene, that corridor holdings are open down 30 day, no supremo statements, a definitive position on that. Perhaps if it begin to take a strong position, starting from the corridor holdings, so same sense will come up now for see we really are heading to somewhere. But up till now, there's nothing. But let us hope and pray that we will get a strong leader in this is second term for legacy.
Okay.
Because we all not care about party really. We care about delivering for the people. In a legacy, they will last longer. I was looking at China. Up till now, they are glorifying this guy, Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong with the Mao lead them from 1949 to 1976. Then they glorify him. Can we have that in this pie second term? I hope so.
Okay, so now we still talk about the interest, foreign interest. As we talk, the Premier News newspaper say a mission 300 endorsed Sierra Leone lead Africa's clear energy future. And this other paper, now the Convenant newspaper say Sierra Leone's landmark 2.2 billion United States dollar mission 200 energy compact endorsed. So this is the thing again. You talk about an cheating for impacting, and if you don't tell me before the thing, I see the power, all the paper or the file, and it is mine. 2.2 billion, very unique money, very interesting figure, way for able to transform the energy completely. But now you again now so they tell me the last thing say it left na paper and then you come back take all thing and go. You know the fact, you know they get everything. Tell me more about
But say this thing we didn't talk about yesterday. I don't go outside the search. This thing. Na money that they give we. Who that they give we? I mean, Solomon, we got to be very critical. Let's be very critical. I don't get any evidence we go push in our money that they give we. There is no commitment from the World Bank, neither the African Development Bank, for say they are going to put that money. But I see people in the gladdy, but I think the same nonsense. It is not, as far as me don't see, not money for your country. It is your own compact pledge. Say you, Sierra Leone, will be spending $2.2 billion on energy by 2030. It is Africa saying that they would be spending $30 billion of their own, like in Ethiopia.
Wait. Look, get this thing fine back. I don't look confused a bit. Salon landmark 2.2 billion mission 300 energy compact endorsed. So now we agree say we go spend it, not to give them give this money say when I go spend them.
You make a compact, nothing. You say now this you want for do by 2030. If you don't can go to the AFDB, as is African Development Bank and the World Bank, they say they endorse her. Not so carry on. If you want to take loan, cancel. We are ready to give you loan on that. But it is you, Sierra Leone. We don't make a compact, so we don't endorse. We are not saying we have to give you grants of 2 point. Forget about grants if they don't give $2.2 billion grants. That's stupid to themselves. Please. It is you making a compact. It is a 30 or so billion compact way. Ethiopia don't complete themselves now because they don't do that diet rule. So I'm still arguing that where is it in any of those documents we say the World Bank give grants or loan of 2.2, apart from the fact that now compact where we make and then say we endorse it, carry on your job, do it for us, make Africa great again. And then we see the same people them up and down the when they know me. There are certain form and they know me. They can silence now. We can raise the issue. See, we've therefore learned to be smarter than this. We'll be smarter. The MCC, I told you guys, they say we've won $280 or so million in MCC grants for energy, same energy. And then they pull tender out. Well, we look at the tender. Solomon not care, but we care. We the watch. $67 million now for bike, motorcar, and laptops and old workshops. Same foolery, same stupidity. But then it could not be stupidity. It could be a game plan by those who are directly involved in it to get their own benefits against the interest of the masses of this country. Because come 2028, which is the time when this old thing for done, we'll still have nothing to show for it. So why are we now talking about this endorsed compact? Why are we? Where? Anyway, Senge, you will have Italian say now endorse a compact where you don't create. It's left with you now. Debts on your head.
Maybe I want to use another word again because this same thing they flow now different paper. Awareness Times, the same thing say at the Bloomberg and Global Forum in New York yesterday, HEBO in 2.2 billion United States dollar energy compact endorsement. So let's put it this other way, maybe. Now, I get intention for make this studio look really funky. I need a very big screen at the back. We're going to display some things there. I need a laptop. I need better internet and other things then. So this kind of we need. I need $5 million for able to do this. So in other words, now me don't make me projection and say I want this. Always I need for you. Okay, the big government where they normally give me money, but I don't get this budget. Now one for do. So all waiting they can say, yeah, no problem, can go ahead. Go ahead. But if you want to know story, I will lend you. But all waiting is now here for people. Now internal this one.
Yeah. Now, Africa, and they meet in Tanzania and say they want for revolutionize the energy sector.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that's not the source. Now they're not the background. And go the normal conference is with the whole Tanzania, then go to Ethiopia and say we want for revamp the energy sector in Africa.
Mhm.
We want to make by 2030, we don't get at least more than half of the population get access to energy. And that's all. Now that's simple. Now we just make Panay now all man go make a own document. See this one now we get for spend by the sector. We have said we want for 2.2.
Mhm.
Then go say we don't it's fine. It's just go and do it. Go and do it. If you want, you can raise taxes on your people. Then. If you want, you can, so we can take loan. We didn't charge you. We not they charge you like say na party. No. We are also investors. Then. We are having people that we are shareholders. Then. Because remember, say the World Bank, the IMF, the AFDB also have government investment and policies where you can win to you leaders them. Then fly the winner, they fly. We go banana. We will stop allowing get access to the dollars. So, saying 2.2 billion. Challenge anybody. Say, where is the IMF commitment to finance your project? Why is they tell them that see me challenge you show me a document where they say they are going to give us grants because like I said, grants because they say grants, not free money. So they say let them show you where this grants has been committed. Yeah, say that a
Ah,
lie, a lie, a lie, a lie. At the same
global
PR stunts.
global times then make can clear. Then it kind of clear a small bit because then says Sierra Leone's landmark 2.2 billion United States dollar mission 300 energy compact receives official endorsement.
Now you are seeing the facts. Now, but when you read the statements with them pool, if you know they use you critical thinking, Solomon we smart, but sometimes in the way when I don't know if they sleep, you will not see any such thing of a commitment to support in grants or whatever of this project. It is merely receiving you. Now, if I were part of the African Development Bank and I'm just appointed as the head, I want to make waves. I want to make waves. So I will go to my guys here with holding at the World Bank and say, look, let's now endorse these things because now UN, it means nothing besides us as Iranians providing the wherewithal to achieve this objective. It is not a grant. It could only be where you would take this compact and say, based on this compact, we can for $1 billion from you guys. It's okay, yeah, we're going to give you, but readjust your economy for payback, not to lose it back again. Because every time you see the IMF come downtown, it is not to help your economy grow, it is to ensure that you are able to pay the debts. And that's it, they do not care. Pay with debt, we are happy. You don't pay our debt, we hold back the balance. Because remember, say, Sierra Leone has been given an offer of $283 million, $285 million in the extended credit facility. They don't put small, I think they don't put the last thing, they put about $40 million there. Balance left. By next year or so, that money for don't exhausted. So if now they don't delay for giving that money in July, but when the time for let the money expire, it expire left at the end, and most likely it still be debt for your country. Most likely, if you not try to get that money off them, it expire and then it be dead now. So the system will work. So this so-called compact on energy tendency, it is just them endorsing our vision, Africa's vision for energy self-sufficiency, and not a grant for nothing, a lie, a big, big lie.
Okay, so now we get the joke, we get everything, and we able for understand exactly waiting they happen. That this are the things we make when it can then things that can happen that we can get, human we can there some see for help we for let me get sense in all of the things that we actually they go on right there now. So one for appreciate and enjoyment show. See, before we let you for go, with all of what you don't see, how you be able for you know The other guy looking for somebody wey say if you have to hide something for week people put them inside book because we know they read. And that makes something and the most times we can take the courage for read certain things them and put them like Creole let we understand. Not of course some people not know, but just that they don't get the time for it. So what do you want for left with you before you go?
Well, I want for left what you say. This MCC now white elephants. That money we didn't see we win now white elephants. Yeah. When I see the first tender come out, I was thinking they are now asking for the works, the transformers, the cables, the towers. No, now vehicles are seen. Number one, vehicles and laptops. Where the other laptops and we beyond the MCC. MCC not to this year then from the MCC. MCC only for the past 5 years or 6 years. Where the vehicles and we don't do. Where the in fact UBC furniture and the total is $67 million. So they are simply using this country as a means for rape their own people wake up and grants. And when you watch the papers again for another tender, coming from where? From EDSA, they have gone to the Arab Bank asking for a major loan for the same thing MCC money for do. Yes, I can assure you that for say right now, EDSA get tender when a loan then take this country for God. Hey, we for do the workway, MCC say they will do with $480 million. Now we will take loan from Badia, yes, quote me, Badia Bank. That then give a loan for go try for set up with proper distribution. Who is fooling who? Unless and until we begin to make people that will negotiate on we behalf pay for entering into wicked agreements on we behalf, that's no come out from this. Unless they begin for pay for what they do enter into we for we now this system. Salon still live far off, yeah. And that's how I live with customer. When I watch, when they say grants, they say money, when I watch, some they come, yes, some they come. But most of it are being spent among the women and women at the committee level, and they go back to the one we say now they give the money. Oh, watch, because at the end of the day, they end up for being debts. The MCC, then we say we get a money for contribute. We have $15 million. Remember that? Then they wait to 1 year, 2 year, where they don't eat most of the cash done, then stay in the hotel. You say, because the country not fulfilled in $50 million, and make the project stop. Bah, I say they don't eat $300 million by the project. So that will line a sense for low gets. We are working upon should say we not support any bad thing. We are not pro APC or pro government. No, we are simply interested in having a decisive leadership who will protect and project the interest of Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil Jengo, for executive for talk to inside the program this morning. And I appreciate the line this morning. I don't know if you know look at any lag, in as much as now makeshift we do, we just improvise quick one, but it still give we a very unique quality this morning, more than clear this morning. And so we actually left now. One for telling thank you to the producer we make we get this program. Thank you to Sir Django. Thank you to you as well. We actually swap quick one from one live to another one. And please, I want follow on this standby. Most of you now don't actually subscribe to this channel where I don't put the link to. So please press that link there, go and subscribe to the channel, put the notification on. We experience serious problem with this particular weird. In case of we need for work on this side and then go on the other side and do a program them, stand by so you won't forget notification. Stand by, please, and I encourage you now for press that link there, go and subscribe to them. We already get small things in there, but subscribe to them and they stand by in case the need be for what we do, we live there and avoid this one for a while until we fix certain things them on. Yeah, as you can see, this morning, na phone I use so for actually do this program. That is why we know for even project the link sorry, the papers them for you, like how we can normally do them. But still, we want to appreciate you now. Thank you very much. We start a bit late because we the first how to go about 16. Just know we not day without we not do the program this morning. So one more time, one for tell una thank you for una support at all time. Please, 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 the link within in the comment section. Press that link now, and go over, subscribe to that platform. If you not don't do so yet, but a lot of I don't subscribe there before. But in case you not do so yet, please go now and subscribe, yeah, to the platform, and make sure say you stand by. Put on the notification when you subscribe. Put on the notification and the bell drop down and use the word press the word all. So anytime we come there now for live, in case we know inform yourself, you're going for no say we did another platform there for actually giving the best. Okay. Thank you very much. I will end the program this morning. One for say thank you. God bless you all. And please press that link there and go and subscribe if you know don't do so yet. Yeah, some of you don't subscribe, maybe change of name and all. So we appreciate you now and ask for the left now. One more time. We love you also very much. Good morning.